Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Maybe you need a timeout.
Welcome to the Luke and Rory podcast. Here are two guys, knuckleheads if you may, who jump in front of a camera and do a Facebook Live show.
You know, it's exciting.
They've decided to take that Facebook Live show and put it into a podcast.
Oh, good for you!
Why? Because can you really get enough of Luke and Rory?
That's a good one.
Meet Luke Weaver, who's known for his dead sexy hair.
You're an awful man. You are truly a disappointment to us all.
Meet Rory Pitts, who's never found an apple cup he can't be disappointed about.
I'm telling you, that man does not look stable.
Two guys who went to the same high school, love the same music, love sports, love movies, and love their families.
Look at these clowns. Hand-picked monkeys.
All right, looks like the boys are caffeinated and ready to go.
Come on, get some coffee. You want some coffee?
That's enough nonsense. Now let's join the show.
Sound good?
You know what?
What? What'd you do? Why?
I quit.
What'd you do?
I quit. We've been on mute for like 4 minutes.
Just over here talking? Oh, Rory.
I quit. I'm done. I'm leaving the show. This is my last day.
I said some of the wittiest things I've ever said. Like 2 minutes ago.
I know. I'm trying to figure out. We got 7 people on here. Nobody's commenting or chiming in. I look and I'm like, oh.
Well, you know what? They might be seeing. I get caps. They might be seeing caps.
Oh, okay.
Hey, good morning again.
So
Welcome. I'm Luke Weaver.
Not all of
Ryan
it's
Pitts.
lost.
This is Ryan Pitts. This is Maddy Weaver. They are graduates of 2024. Rory and I haven't graduated crap because we came and turned the sound on. So there's that.
I quit.
Christy, I was just trying to figure out why I didn't hear you. Because your husband's at the controls.
I was thinking about a what if, just briefly, of what would happen if the mic was just muted.
Bro, I had it all set to go. I even told myself, okay, as soon as the camera comes on, I'm going to unmute us. Oh my
Bella says,
god.
good morning, pimps and pimpette.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
All right. Well, thankfully, nothing inappropriate was said while we were.
That would have been the time.
I know. No
Yeah.
kidding.
We were talking about how bad traffic was. You know what I was thinking about with traffic is Rory loves to drive. No.
No,
You don't like traffic, but like
I'm with Maddie. If there's no traffic, I love to drive.
it used to
Back
be.
roads are great.
It used to be like not a week would go by where I didn't hear a story from Rory, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, so then this and this and this." So I drove to Mo Clips and just to process my thoughts for 6
Had
hours.
nothing better to do.
Now I'm like, man, you got to sit through 45 minutes to an hour of traffic just to get to your stress relieving drive, dude.
I know.
At that point, it's not worth it.
Well, heck, this morning we got out of Belfair, we got past Lake Flora Road, and before we got to the airport, all of a sudden everybody's slamming on their brakes. Like, what is going on up here? I'm like, there should be dead bodies all over the place.
Better be.
I get up to the airport. Nope,
No.
just a freaking stoplight at the airport.
There was a raccoon at the end of the road. Yeah. Taking a nap on the side of the road.
You can't hit the bunnies there.
No.
You just have to stop.
No, don't hit the bunnies.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so enough about traffic and us two knuckleheads.
Enough about me. Let's
Because
talk
we
about me.
Yeah. The old Toby Keith song. I want to talk about me.
I want to talk about I.
Let's talk about you two.
Congratulations.
Thank
Holy
you.
crap, you guys. Now what? I'm sorry. We'll get to the now what in
This
a
is
second.
the earliest I've woken up. I'm gonna put that out there.
It was kind of weird. I think I told you last week. It was weird the day after her last day. Like everyone leaves the house. I'm downstairs on my computer, and all of a sudden she walks out the stairs, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then I'm like, "Oh, that's right. You're an
It was
alumni
like
now."
10. I walked down in like my sweatpants, like my bedtime t-shirt.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's like one of your like 90s Hurley t-shirts. So
Thank God I had
my
clothes
hair is
on.
all like Missy Bonnet came downstairs, and I'm like,
Scared the hell out of me.
morning.
Well, Ryan finds himself so bored that he's outside chopping wood.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
That's a great chore, man. That's my favorite.
Paul says, "Oh crap, it's Thursday." Yeah,
Chore.
that's what I said when I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
My time is so thrown off.
Yeah.
Because I spent, he knows I've been sick.
She also
so,
caught the HIV. So
Yeah.
Bro.
I love the fact that she went to the doctor and they said, "There's nothing wrong with you. All of our tests indicate there's nothing wrong with you."
Yeah.
Okay.
But you might be dying.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay.
Because Sunday night, I normally go to my mom's. And I was like, I'm not driving anywhere. I feel like crap. And so I just spent the night at his and I drove back the next morning. To my mom's. And then yesterday, I still feel miserable. Is it yes? No, Tuesday. Lori.
So then Tuesday, she's like, "I'm not driving back."
I was like, I feel like crap. And he was like, okay. So my dad's and I was at my mom's. And so then yesterday, I should have been at my dad's anyways. I drove back to my dad's, but in the afternoon, because I picked my sister up from work. So today, I'm like,
That she was supposed to be at.
Yeah, that was supposed to be at. It's like, I go and pick her up, and my boss is like, how you doing? I'm like,
Slacker.
Here, come here. Let me breathe on you.
right? You want a taste of it?
Wow.
Enjoy.
Ryan says, "Good morning." Not you, Ryan. Well, good morning to you, but you're not doing this right now.
Yeah. Cloudy.
Ryan says, "Good morning and congrats, you two.
Thank you.
They made
Thank you.
In spite of our best efforts to screw everything up, they made it."
Way to overcome. That's some serious stick-to-itiveness. Like,
Well, so let's talk about you for a second.
Me.
Once you finish, because you finished Ryan's homeschool. We've talked about that before. You finished 2 weeks before graduation.
wait, what?
You
Yeah.
got 2 weeks off.
You got 2 weeks before graduation.
I got
was-
a day.
I just got so tired with my work. I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to end it all. So
he was motivated.
I say that every morning I wake up. Right? I don't want to do this anymore.
I had work up until my last day of school.
Wow.
Like, I didn't turn in my student assigned laptop until the last day. My teacher's like, do you guys want anything like extra credit? I'm sitting in class my last day. I'm like, I don't know. So good.
This is how you know she's a good kid and not you.
I know, yeah.
She's like, she's contemplating doing extra credit.
Oh my god.
Me, I'm like, no, out.
I sold my computer on the black market and filed an insurance claim. So.
Paul says, today I am ripping Xfinity out of my house, replaced by T-Mobile.
Let me know how it goes, dude.
Yeah, there you
Like,
go.
Seriously.
I don't have a choice.
Good morning,
I have to-
Chad.
I have
Chad
to stick with
Edwards
the old
in the house.
Hood Canal Communications.
Yeah. You know what I find weird is how just like, you remember Sprint was a thing and then just like T-Mobile snatched it away from existence.
Yep.
I was a Sprint guy for a long time.
I have memories of Sprint, and it feels like years ago. But I was like 8, 9, 10.
Crap, I remember Singular.
I don't know that. My dating.
What was Verizon? Used to be like Air Touch One or Air.
Oh my gosh, that is old.
I remember Sprint stores like around, like their Sprint stores.
The Sprint commercials were the best. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Man, we got a floodgate of comments coming in. This is like the show where Luke and Rory try to prove genetics are a hoax.
Yeah, it is the show. Yeah.
Paul says, I only did extra credit to make up for not doing the work I was originally supposed to do. True.
Fact.
That would be the only reason why I would
do this. You can graduate. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not getting 104% in this class. Yeah. Beller says, one-on-one, Maddy versus myself, $100 or 100 push-ups. Yes, no, scared or not scared.
I'm pretty sure she's not scared.
Paul says,
Beller, you were a great athlete, but you're like 50 now, just like the rest of us.
Dial up AOL.
Oh, dude.
Shipping. Oh, my gosh. You know, and then try to download songs.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Nextel. That was the thing. Yeah.
So, I told you
remember when cell phones, remember when your cell phones didn't say like iPhone, it wasn't like an Apple or a Motorola or whatever. It said the name of the company that you got it from. So like my phone said Sprint on it.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was a Motorola or whatever. Like, it was just some knockoff I got apparently. But like, and then it became a thing that these manufacturers are.
Blackberries?
Oh yeah.
Blackberry was like the
He had one.
I never had a Blackberry.
So he had one, and I remember it. And then when he like switched to like whatever the newest version of this was, whenever I don't remember how long.
I went to a Samsung.
He went to a Samsung.
Yeah.
He kept the Blackberry, and Lainey and I used that as a toy phone. For like and there was like a little like swivel ball in it, so we'd spend like hours like playing with it. Like it didn't work, didn't turn on anymore. We'd be like, hello.
How lame were we? Remember, I would try to look up ESPN on there, and it would take like 10 minutes to load the page. But I was stoked when it did. Then I was like on the little ball, like click, read the article, and now I'm like, if it takes longer than a second and a half, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Yeah. Which is that old like Louis C.K. I know that like Louis C.K. is taboo or whatever now, but when he did that thing, he was like, you ever see these people like they're freaking out? They're like, come on! He's like, guys, you can take 2 seconds. It's literally sending the information to a satellite in outer space and then back to your phone. And if it takes longer than 2 seconds, you're like, what the hell? That's me.
Let's see what else we got here. We got Paul. I had a great phone that flipped open sideways and had a full key. That must have been one of the first Androids.
The first Android, mine slid open.
Yes.
My mom had a blue one, and I remember like Lainey and I. She kept it when she like upgraded to whatever it was, and Lainey and I would like we would slide it open. We thought it was the funnest thing ever. Like slide it, fake text.
I remember when I got the iPhone 3. That was the very first iPhone I got, and a guy who I worked with got the first Android, and he was like, "Dude, check this out, it's so cool." And I'm like, "Bro, it's not Apple."
Yeah. You're a snob. You've been a snob of about every technology.
That's true. So I'm just a general snob. Matt Hilditch, good morning. He says, I had a Nokia brick until like 7 years ago. It's still on my nightstand, just daring anyone to mess with it. Someone breaks in. Boom. I saw something funny the other day that said, how stupid are you to have invented a cover for a Nokia phone?
Oh, man.
Those things.
Yeah. Good morning, Jason. Jason joined us.
Magruder says, Snake wasted hours of my time on the old Nokia. Yes.
Oh, man.
Well, there was nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I take my
Snake?
phone in the bathroom with me. There's no other games.
We would do that on our computers. So we would look up like Google Play Sync on our computers, like we had nothing to do, and we would sit the little arrows like right here and be like up, down, left, and right, like doing like the whole thing until the teacher would come around. And you either had to be quick enough to like slide your mouse to hit exit out of that tab, or like slam your computer shut really quick. You're like, I'm done. I'm being a good kid. I swear I'm not playing. And then
Hilditch says the cover was to protect the floor.
Yeah.
See, you kids don't know the pain of having to read the back of shampoo bottles or look at magazines when you go use the restroom.
No, man.
Now you guys have your phones. You can take your phones when you go use the restroom.
You know who kept?
I don't know if I'd even want to use it.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, my grandma would keep Home Goods and Food Network magazines in the back.
Yeah, I remember when Casey, when we were in high school, his dad had a cell phone, and it was like a case with a cord on it, you know. And then it's like if we were like going to Seattle, he'd be like, take the phone.
Yes.
Yeah. Briefcase. And I remember being so excited if he was like, dude, call the house. And I'm like, holding it out the window, like connect. It's so wild, dude.
Paul says, my buddy had a break on his boat until a few years ago when analog was no longer supported. We used the antenna for a swizzle stick. He said the service was only $5 a month.
Hey, there you go.
Nice. Good morning, Mandy. Good to see you.
Luke Griffin, morning.
Paul says there should be a law that shampoo bottles say shampoo or conditioner in 1-inch tall letters. Agreed.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Although there is one of those like memes or commercials, like, girls are like shampoo, conditioner,
Hair mask.
volume, blah, blah, blah. And guys are like, all in one shampoo, conditioner,
Motor oil.
soap. And we're like, perfect.
Yeah.
No, that's the truth.
Foot
though.
scrub.
As the only girl,
Coffee creamer.
Yeah.
as the only girl on this show right now, I can say that's like 100% true.
No, yeah.
People like, have you heard the term like girl shower? Like, it takes like 45 minutes. Like a guy
Oh,
shower is like 2 minutes long. Yeah.
Women should be limited to 3 bottles this fall.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh my Lord. I would get some shelf space back. Let me tell you what.
Oh, you know what? So for just a moment, I want to show this because I took this picture before we started. So everybody's seeing me adjust the camera right now. I want you all to understand what we're dealing with here, okay? I took a picture before we started the show.
Yeah.
We got to fit all of us into this little space.
Cute and cuddly.
But we're doing it. We appreciate Electric Coffee for letting us have it.
Yes. Don't get us wrong. We are very appreciative.
Yeah.
I wish they would have moved this big, long table next week.
All right. So should we talk a little bit about school?
Yes. So let's talk about your guys' experience. You both had different experiences because you went to public school. You were homeschooled.
Partially.
No, for high school?
Oh, yeah, for high school, yeah.
I can remember the first time I dropped her off at junior high. I'm like, I'm going to take a picture or whatever. And if you look at that picture, like her eyes are puffy. She was crying. She was like, I don't want to go to junior high.
I was so scared.
And at this point, she's like 6 feet tall. I'm like, you're the biggest one in the school. Like, what are you worried about? Like,
You are the bully.
yeah.
That's one of the weird things. I
But
think.
high school was like that.
No, high school I was fine. I think like it was like regular first day jitters.
Yeah.
And I saw my
Those are not
basketball
regular.
coach. I saw my basketball coach on the first day of high school, and he came up to us and he's like, me and my best friend, he's like, you guys ready? And I was like, I'm a little nervous. And he was like, why? And I was like, don't really know. I just am. Like, it's just like that, like, kind of like first day, like, oh gosh. And in the PSD, all the schools are absolutely ginormous, which is funny because I just did, for the high schools, when you graduate, you get to go back and walk through junior high, and you get to go back and walk through elementary school. And when I was in elementary school, like, my elementary school, like, this is humongous. And then when I got to junior high, I was like, oh my gosh, like, my elementary school was nothing. Like, this is huge. And then I went back and I walked to both, and I'm like, it's a little crowded in here, guys. What's going on? Because Puyallup High School and all the high schools in the school district are castles, comparatively. Like,
Oh, heck yeah.
It's
Or
insane.
penitentiaries.
Yeah.
that too.
Ferrucci.
Rich.
Well, so it was a little different for you because if I understand correctly, in the Puyallup School District, though you were still going to Calais, you were a freshman on the high school basketball team?
Yes. So with Puyallup School District, you do K through 6 is elementary, then junior high is 7 through 9. But technically, because the rest of the world runs on the middle school system, your credits
I
start
think there's
counting.
2 districts in the state that run
Yeah.
like us. Yeah.
So your credits start counting because everywhere else does. So even though you're at the junior high, you're taking high school courses,
Hey, dibs.
which is really weird because you're like, I'm in junior high still, but like you're not. You're actually a high school.
Yeah.
And then because of that, they're like, oh, you're a high schooler, so I guess you should be playing on the high school teams. And then you have to figure out, okay, well, how am I getting to the high school? And there's like an hour and a half, 2 hour time gap between when I'm out of school and the high school's out when practice starts.
Right.
And then also, as a 9th grader or a freshman, you're given the opportunity to take a 6-period class at the high school. And when I was in my freshman year, I did that. I took ASL. Loved my first year, but the colliding was that because we were half online, and so the online schedule didn't match up with the online junior high schedule, didn't match up with the high school sports schedule. So I would be late to practices because I was having to finish my 6th period, or like there's a couple times where like I had like my earbud in on like in my computer at like the end of the gym, like trying to like listen of like, this is how you sign in. Okay. I'm like running lines and I'm like, my name. Like one time I was like, what are you doing? And I was like, class. Like,
I have basketball practice.
Yeah. Like,
I think you just offended somebody.
I'm sure I did. Gang signs.
like it was weird trying to figure that out because it's not the normal freshman experience anyways. And then you added, we were half online, half not online.
Right.
It was so weird. It wasn't until like sophomore year that I was like, okay, this was like a normal high school experience now.
I do remember, real quick, funny, Dib says, answer honestly, how difficult is it to have Luke and Rory for dads? And then Magruder says, they can complain, they just might like not like the consequences. And Paul goes, yeah, they don't know anything different.
I can remember COVID being a deal though, and like she shows up for freshman orientation, whatever, and Dr. Kovacs comes out, her principal, and we all love Kovacs. And he's got his Kovacs was not necessarily the biggest fan of mandates, and he just had the chin strap thing going on, and he grabs Maddy Weaver, they grabs her by the face, and he gets like right in her face. And he was like, hey, you're a freshman now, all right? You can't screw this up. There's no late assignments, there's no this, there's no that. And he was like, everything before you, child's play. Like, he just yeah, he's just like, don't make me have to talk to
Freshman
you.
orientation was at the junior high, and it was drive-through style. So like,
Oh gosh.
he dropped me off at the back. I ran in, took my school picture, grabbed my schedule, ran back around through the front of the school, and he picked me up all in like 5 minutes. And it was like,
And there was Dr. Kovacs waiting for
and he was like, "This is it." And I was like, "Okay."
Love Kovacs.
He was great.
So what was the question here? Here you go, Ryan. Paul says, did you get recess in homeschooling?
I'm curious.
To which Tim said, homeschool, or no, Magruder said homeschool is recess, I thought.
Yeah, homeschool's recess. Isn't that right, Ryan? Tell everybody how that's all homeschool is. So you had a different experience from hers in the sense of when everything got locked down, how did school go for you?
Well, I mean,
Sucked even more.
I was basically already doing the same things that I usually do. Business is
Stop coming out of my
normal.
room, you guys could have COVID.
Although I guess the one thing is that when COVID started, I was actually in the middle of my 8th grade year, so we had to like forcefully transition from like, because I go to this thing as well. I don't know whether it was just on Wednesdays that year, but it's this place called Catholic Schoolhouse where I can also just do learning with other people as well. So there was something I did miss, but it was in the middle of the year, and yeah, that wasn't really the best year.
Yeah.
To be
you
honest.
had a rough year because I mean, you really like those moments where you get to go hang out with your friends. Like you did that yesterday. You got to hang out with your friends and just kind of chit chat. Because I mean, for Ryan, just like you, for Ryan, he's got friends that are literally going off to do things.
Yeah.
And some of your friends are overachievers.
Yeah.
Freaking graduating early.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah. What are they thinking?
Yeah.
Getting into the real world so soon.
Trying to get out of it.
But yeah, I mean, for you, I mean, what was homeschool like as a high schooler? A lot of drinking?
Yeah.
Probably that.
Well, Rory was your dad, so you learned from the best.
Well, I remember.
I drink because I am me.
I remember like the first year of high school. We were still in like the apartments. Yeah, that was the only year that I did not go to Catholic Schoolhouse in person.
When did you
The
start
entire
homeschool, dude?
Well, technically 6th grade. So it was kind of like, I remember at like elementary school, they were saying, now you'll be the 6th graders. You're going to be important. Except, nope, I'm a dropout. And then I'm going to go and be a homeschooler. See you later.
I'm a dropout. I'm out.
You did right with the shop.
Shut up. Really? I was at Stewart, though.
Well, yeah, I know that's the weird thing. She was at Stewart for kindergarten. They would have been there at the same time.
We would have been there at the same time.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, I was at Stewart for my first year.
Wow, really?
And then they're like, no thanks. And I was like, okay.
No thanks. We don't want a Weaver in here.
Yeah.
And then where'd you finish elementary school at?
Hunt Elementary.
Hunt, okay.
Okay.
That was actually one of my favorite years was fifth grade
Fifth grade.
in elementary school.
Could
And then
not.
you dropped out after that.
Yes. Yeah, I'd like.
Thank
Yeah,
God it was your
Mr. D,
mom.
I would like to say if he's out there right now, thank you so much for making my fifth grade year so good. That's probably like one of my favorite years ever.
And I think I shared with you, Mr. D,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
his Mr. Landrum.
And he came to your
Yeah.
graduation.
Yeah,
Mr. D
Oh,
came
that's
to your-
awesome.
he did.
Yeah.
We were able to talk. It was really cool to see him after so long.
Nice, man.
So let's talk about your guys' graduations. Yours was,
Vastly different.
yeah, vastly different. So yours was June 1st,
Yeah.
and he did. Go ahead and tell everybody what was that day like.
So I think, okay, starting at the beginning, I think I remember being able to like get the cap and gown, and it was all cool and all that. It was really like exciting to be able to have the chance to wear something like that. I remember there's like a backspace where I think I was wearing a suit like for the first section of it, and before like everything started, we were like practicing our different lines and stuff like that. So as they walked us through and all that, so I obviously everybody didn't know what they were doing at
Now,
first.
where was your graduation at? Because it's not just you and your Catholic schoolhouse friends.
Yeah,
Where was it at?
it was Spartan.
You got it. What's the high school?
Spartan High School. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
What town are we in right now?
Okay, this is Sumner High School.
There you go. And you were part of the Washington Homeschool Organization.
Yeah,
Where it was, I want to say about 50 other kids
yeah.
that went through this.
So you guys, were you in the school? Or were you-
Yeah, we were in the Performing Arts Center.
Yeah.
I am Sparta. Yes.
Actually, when one point when I was just we were lining up to then like go up to then take our seats for graduation. Beforehand, I think I was talking to like some other guy in line, and I was basically advertising my brother's channel to someone else.
Oh, you deserve a bird dog fee for that.
Fight for that one, dude.
Which is Bringus Studios.
Yeah.
Yep, Bringus Studios. It's free real estate.
Well,
Free real estate.
Hey, we want some marketing dollars, John.
Mandy says, my fifth was Mr. Landrum. Yeah, we were in the same class.
Wow.
Yeah, Mr. Landrum was the best. He smacked, not physically. I don't want people to think any
Although
different of
you
him.
deserved it.
Oh, I deserved it. I absolutely deserved it.
Hey, real quick, I'll read a couple comments. Paul says, I imagine Luke and Rory can be a bit strict. However, as strict as my parents were, my friends spent their time at my house because my parents cared and their parents were running around, not caring what their kids were doing. The cool parents aren't the good parents. Gruder goes, COVID was dumb. To which I said, still is. Paul says, on the other hand, Rory makes his son sleep in the cab of a truck in a Walmart parking lot so they can watch a WSU game.
Hey, I saved $300.
Hey,
Was that where you, Ryan?
No, it was with John.
John, he's still
Yeah.
recovering from
Which,
that night.
which again was really brutal because I had this plan in place. We were going to sleep in the back of the truck with the canopy, with it all closed.
Yeah.
And I broke the window on the back of the canopy, so we had to sleep in the cab of the truck, which is not comfortable.
Yeah. Well, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
See, Paul said, COVID's still out there. There's a more severe strain in Europe. They're keeping an eye on filling up the hospitals there. The current strain here is very mild.
the vid.
Yeah. You know what? Hilditch and I had a good conversation about this on Saturday at the graduation party. And, he was high risk. And so I'm all about everyone can take care of themselves, and they should be allowed to take care of themselves how they see fit. And I'm glad that I'm glad that Matt was able to do so, and we were able to do so the way we saw best fit for our families. But anyways, Magruder says $300 is $300, man. A guy might be convinced to do some uncomfortable things for $300. You could have slept with me in the Coogulants. I'm the big spoon. You and John in the Coogulants. That'd have been great. Oh, I would love it.
All right,
my
sorry.
goodness.
Carry on, Ryan.
All right, so
Okay, yeah.
So after you advertise your brother's business,
So I think we were moving along in graduation, and there's people obviously going in rows in a very specific order. I remember screwing up or one time I almost screwed up. I was like getting up toward like where you guys were at, and obviously I was waiting my turn to walk up to you guys. I almost forgot to get a rose.
Because you were talking about bring the studio.
Now, why did you have to grab a rose?
Well, I think it was to. Was it a show of a?
It's very simple. Very simple. You gave a rose to your family.
Yes, a rose to the family.
There you go. And what do we give you in return?
Hugs and a diploma.
There you go.
Hugs and a diploma.
In that order.
Yes. So, it was funny because when we were backstage, I don't know if I told you this, when we were backstage on the other side, I was with Mom like, oh crap, where are the roses at? We got to get a rose. And Mom goes, Ryan's giving me the rose. Oh,
done.
Okay.
Okay. It's Ryan.
So he comes by eventually.
So we were both having a rose moment.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice, and the place was in the auditorium, and it was packed. I was surprised how many families were there, and
Well, it's cool when you got to give the
and our whole family got to go up there
Yeah.
and give Ryan a hug, give him the diploma, and all that good stuff.
Unfortunately, there was one casualty.
Yes,
The
Yeah.
jacket.
Rose casualty?
no. So
Wait.
so
Hold on.
Ryan wore a nice outfit.
Sparta.
He wore a nice outfit.
I
He had a
gave the jacket to you.
He gave the jacket to me. I hung up the jacket back there where everybody else was hanging up their stuff because that's where they told
What
us
I heard
to.
in Ryan's voice was it was Dad's fault.
That's what I just heard too. We're gonna have a talk after the
I
show.
gave it to Dad.
So I went back there to go find his jacket after everything was said and done. His jacket was gone, wasn't hanging up anymore, and we've tried for a couple of weeks to find it.
It was your blazer, right? It was a nice.
Yeah, which I
It's
just
gone.
got dry cleaned a couple days before.
Oh.
And-
for a new fit.
Yeah.
I also-
that's what Dad needs to do right now. Spend more money.
Yeah.
And I also lost my charger and charger brick.
I know. Sad day.
Hopefully, you don't need your blazer for anything anytime soon. So.
It was weird to
Yeah.
see him on Sunday at church with no jacket on.
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys usually wear
He
dress
does-
up?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is about. I get about this dressed
This
up.
is about as dressed up as I am for any one
Yeah,
thing.
I gotta lose weight because that jacket I wore in Vegas.
Oh,
So now I got
Chris
it.
Farley, dude.
Yeah. Oh, bro, Chris Farley all the way. Absolutely. All right, what do we got here?
This is my favorite. Paul goes, I defend your right not to be decimated. I've only had 2 shots. And then he goes, I'm vaccinated. No, I agree with you, Paul.
So how long was your graduation? Because mine was 84 years, mine forever.
Actually, you know what's crazy?
You're like the old lady from Titanic.
Yes, that was my record.
Graduation started 84 years ago.
84
You know what's
years.
crazy though.
Felt like that.
How long was yours?
2 minutes.
It's an hour.
Probably now.
That was it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing though. My high school graduation was over 2 hours long, and we graduated 150, whatever.
What?
Their graduation was 2 hours long, and almost 600 kids went across that stage.
It's crazy.
I mean, they had it down to a pretty good science. I was actually, I thought it was going to start at 5, and I was going to have to get last call, I was going to miss last call, and they were done right about 7.
Yeah.
It was I was actually this is, hey, not everything in Puyallup School District is well done, but good job here. Way to get through it. So,
Well, for you, yours was outside because we've been
Yeah.
to Puyallup School District graduations
Yeah.
at the fair, and you had a couple of extra elements added to your graduation.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, so we're
Paul said he could have worn his gown to church.
He would have stuck out like a sore thumb.
All right.
good morning, Krista.
So ours, obviously, for Puyallup School District, we line up. So for those of you who call it fair, right? You have the grandstands. It's where the concerts happen for the fall fair, the state fair.
Can I just say that I love the fact your daughter just said the Puyallup Fairgrounds?
Oh, I know. Yeah, she knows.
Yeah.
Huh?
Not Washington.
Well, it's
State
called the
Fair.
Washington State Fair now. Washington State
It
Fairgrounds.
used to be Puyallup Fair.
Oh,
But yeah, we still
I'm
call it
thinking
Puyallup.
back to kindergarten when they had us in and do the Puyallup, and I'm like, yeah.
And then
Exactly.
Governor Inslee. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Different show.
That's
So,
funny.
anyways.
So we all line up underneath the grandstands, and it had been predicted to rain all week, and all of us are like, please no. And I'm watching it all day. So that morning, Laney had had 2 basketball games in Olympia, and I'm eyeballing the weather the entire time. Like, Laney scored. What's the weather? Timeout. What's the weather? Like, I am checking it
And
frantically.
how many points did your sister score in that?
Oh, she had 37. I was quite proud of her.
Yeah, heck of a game.
37.
Yeah.
That's a special number. Sorry, inside joke.
All right. I don't know what just happened.
And I'm like on the way home, and I'm like, it's starting to rain. I'm like, no. I'm like, wait, I'm in Olympia. It could be fine if you all up right now. And I'm like watching, like, I get home, I'm having breakfast. It was frantic all day. I'm like, oh my gosh. And finally, I'm like actually getting ready. I'm like trying to like fix my hair. I don't really do much with it anyways. But and I'm like, I think I'm okay. I think we're good. So I get there first. I drop my tassel. I'm like running in. Also, I look at my cap. I'm like, where's my tassel? And I was already running behind. I'm frantic. I'm like, what do? I don't have my tassel. And my dad's like, backtrack. I'm like,
But I can't leave to help because it's once you're in, you can't go back out.
yeah,
Right?
and I'm frantic because I was already running behind from the traffic and trying to find parking. So like they're like, be there at 4. I didn't walk until like 4:15, and I was okay.
Oh, you're right after your dad.
Yeah, Luke and Rory. You could be on Luke and Rory podcast.
And so like I backtrack, I find it. It fell off my cap like right by my cars, and I was already like halfway up. So I'm like sprinting in my dress in there. I get in, we're fine, and the minute we're in there, they shut all the doors and they shut the garage door that leads to the grandstands. So it is hot. I'm like, we're dying.
It's like the scene from Gladiator.
Yeah,
We're dying.
waiting for it to open up and you come out with the sword on.
Lions. And
Yeah.
Right?
Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
And so
She's
actually,
sending me selfies of her and Alexis from underneath, like my phone goes off, and they're like,
yeah, I'm gonna die. Like our cheeks and ears were like bright red. We were so warm in there. And actually, my best friend and one of our other friends, we so like all of our gowns, right? They're really long, and so what we did is like my dress hit like right above my knees, and so we rolled up our gowns and we laid on the floor and then pushed up our sleeves because the floor is all like cement, so it's cold. And so we're like laying on the floor, like dying in there.
it's the first I've heard of this.
By the way, and one of our coaches,
So proud.
bless her heart, Coach T, she's our C team coach, comes around and she looks over the top of my best friend and she goes, "You good?" We're like, "It's cold." She's like, "Okay, it is warm in here." I'm like, "Yeah." And then finally, like, we're ready to go, and then like open the garage and they separate it out. So there's like the gold group and the purple group. And the gold group's on like the right side of it, and the purple group's on like the left side. And I was on the left side. So you get all the gold garage, and then they shut the garage. We're like, wait, no. There's more of us. And they're like, no, they have to get all the way to the other side because you walk out opposite sides simultaneously, and then you go down with somebody else and you split. So we're all like, hold on. And we finally get out there. I should point out, they're like, does anyone want ponchos? And we're like, it's fine. And then somebody goes, holy crap. And like 600 heads flip, and it is jumping. We're like, give me a poncho.
Oh.
Meanwhile, we're undercover.
Yeah. We're out in the open.
I'm like, that's a bummer, man.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, the parents,
Pass
the
the
band,
skills.
and the choir are all undercover, not the graduates.
Oh,
We're
no,
like,
no.
great. So we're all put like ponchos
Did you
on
now?
there.
Did you see any pictures of the Emerald Ridge graduation?
Yes.
And Roger.
And Rogers, it was.
Yeah, they were swimming.
Yeah, so bad. And so we get out there, we all put ponchos underneath. The seats are soaked. And so we all sit down, and it's cold. We're like, it was so cold. And then the wind's blowing. And
I do love that they put their ponchos underneath because then you still like whatever. But then you looked up at Principal Sonich, Dave, and he's up there and he's got his gown on, whatever, it's black, the master stuff, whatever. And then he's got this massive clear poncho in the wind. Like I'm like, dude, if that catches
sounds like
right,
a
we're gonna
garbage
lose.
bag, like shaking.
Yeah.
Like,
If that catches right, we're gonna lose Sonich. Like,
yeah.
gone.
My best friend and I brought like an extra poncho. We like put it over our laps for like some like insulation to keep us warm because it was freezing. And we're just waiting there, and we ended up being at the back.
Oh,
We're
gosh.
waiting. And my best friend and I the entire time were just back and forth, like just snickering about people's names, or like what people were wearing, or like people's like grad caps. Like our class president is
That's how I know she's mine. Just people watching and judging. So proud.
the kid said too, he's like, it was like 2 hours of like watching you, and he like just like go back and forth like
Oh yeah, I
like
we were
laughing,
watching them like
just snickering back and forth. The biggest one is our class president. His nickname Rusty. And so I was his whole life his logo like dopey crusty that wrote for Rusty, like when we were like doing my class president.
Oh dear.
Come to find out this year during awards that his real name is Ernest Crutcher the Fifth. And so he goes across stage and like Ernest Crutcher the Fifth, and we're like, wait a minute, what? And so we lost it. It was fun.
poor Ernie.
Yeah.
Now, do they? I can't remember because it's been so long since I graduated. Do you have like a slip of paper that has your name on it?
Yeah, so
And then you
we
hand
don't
it to
do
the
an alphabetical order anymore.
Right.
We're allowed to sit by whoever, which was really fun. Because I got to sit by my best friend. You know, we got to graduate. I was right in front of her, and like right before I turned around, and I was like, "We did it," and she was like, "We did," and we shook hands, and I was like,
See you
"Good
on the
doing
other
business
side.
with you." She was like, "It's been a pleasure." I was like, standing up, and I turned around and I hand our AP Lit teacher Mo our card, and she kind of looked at me. She's like, "Proud of you, kid," and I was like, "Thanks, Mo," and I was like, Do I go now? And she was like, wait. Okay, now. And then, like, I got to walk up.
By the way, the two that call the names, those are the real MVPs. Man.
No kidding.
100%.
Dude, one of the names was like 7 names long.
Markley.
And it was, we were sitting there, and all of a sudden we heard it, and she's just like, and Justin, he looks at me, and he's like, oh my hell, dude. She's the real MVP. Dude. Screw that up.
That's like a biblical name. Yeah. Son of, daughter of, daughter of, son of.
Oh
right?
God.
Like,
The third.
Hold on, real quick. Hilditch said, some cough. Other families may not have been wise enough to sit where they didn't get
Oh, you got the closer seat, huh?
That being said, Hilditch got some great pictures of the girls for me from his wet seat, so I really appreciate it. Gruder, anyone, the 5th is an automatic class president. Sorry, mark it down. Yeah,
that's right.
Her basketball director, the director of FBC, he's the 8th. Narcisco Martinez the 8th. I'm like, bro, what are you like? Is your family like a Mayan emperor? Like your
don't you own a kingdom somewhere?
Yeah, like one of the pyramids is yours, like in Mexico. Like it's
Drew. Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, Stephanie.
Biggest worry is because everything was wet, and I will point out, I did not do this. When you order your gown, right? It's like you order it for your height.
Yeah.
And so mine says on like the back of mine, like 6'1" to 6'3". Okay, right? I'm in that frame. And so it reaches almost all the way down to your ankles. And so the shoes I was wearing, apparently the way I walk, like I was really worried that it was going to catch on my heel.
Oof.
And so when I'm walking, especially when you're walking up the stairs, when I walk up the stairs, I had to like hold it a little bit. But there are some girls that intentionally ordered it like an inch or two shorter, and it was hitting like mid-shin. And so it was really weird because I'm up there, I'm like, okay, lift it a little bit, don't trip.
Well, that last stair you guys had, it was like step, and then on the stage, it was like step. Like,
yeah,
they were like, I saw like 3 or 4 people toe catch, and I'm like, oh, don't go down. Like,
yeah. And then like,
don't
this is
that one.
why I wore sneakers. I wore, actually the shoes I'm wearing right now, I wore my homecoming,
there you go.
Homecoming tennis shoes.
I've never worn heels to a high school dance. I'm going to point that out.
Well, that's because all your dates are shorter than you, so.
No, they've been my height.
Okay, so
This is
you
hilarious.
and I have been through the North Mesa graduation.
Yeah.
When we went there, the guys wore blue, the ladies wore white. Now I've been to the Puyallup graduations now where it's all one solid color. What do you prefer? Which one do you think is better? Does it matter?
So I watched my cousin Taylor graduate. She went to Curtis, and girls wore white, guys wore blue.
Is that what we did?
Yeah, that's what we did.
He just
I was like,
hello, fly.
I was drunk.
I feel like
I'm just kidding.
I feel like in today's world, you got to do it like
Yeah.
Puyallup High School does it. Just everybody wears the same color.
Yeah, I mean,
I have so many comments, but
I know you do.
Yeah.
I'm over here fishing.
And there was more than a couple where I was like, is that a boy or a girl? Who is that?
Paul says, I sent a PM of a comment I wrote and decided it wasn't appropriate. See, I do have a filter. So see if you see if you can see the comment. Paul also says, I definitely prefer the blue and the white over purple. Go Ole Bears. Yes, we can agree with that.
I'm reading this. Graduation is like a third date. All the work, preparation, and boredom for a brief moment of excitement.
Although your whole family is cheering you on this third date.
Oh, Weaver.
I didn't write it.
No, but you read it.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Initiated.
I didn't even hear it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wasn't Oldie Bear. All right.
Yes, indeed. So, okay, so we talked about graduation. We talked about what you're doing right now. What's next? Now, we kind of know what's next with you because your dad is constantly telling everybody what's next with you.
The amount of people that walk up to me like,
True story, Paul.
oh my goodness, your dad on Facebook the other day, and I'm like, what? What did he say about me? What did he say?
Her in diapers. All right, go ahead. What are you doing?
Well, I feel like Facebook already knows. I'm going off to Chaminade University of Honolulu in August to get my degree in communications with emphasis on journalism and play some basketball.
So are you going to try and bring some civility back to journalism?
That would be my goal. I think that has been my goal. I really, truly like writing the story. I don't like writing news stories. I think it's boring. Do I know that needs to be told? Yes. But I like, it's called feature stories. So those are the personal ones that you see, like, man was stage 15 cancer beats all odds, and crazy stories like that. Those are called like feature stories.
Or editorials.
Yep.
Yeah, and I really like writing those. And I think that's what kind of brings some like humanity and decency back, and I think that's what the world needs right now.
Yeah.
Like I've written some stories like those who pay attention to Seattle sports, the elusive broccoli guy that goes to the games with 2 florets of broccoli in a Dixie cup, like the little like Dixie cups with like the purple and blue design.
I'm listening.
He wears an outfit.
Yeah, he wears an outfit and he goes and he cheers people on with broccoli and just dances the whole time with broccoli for it. He's doing it the PW broccoli guy. And
he's like in every sporting event.
Yeah. And he's actually a substitute teacher in the Pop School District. And
I know. Yeah.
And he was a long-term sub for my math and for 2 weeks leading up to winter break my junior year. And I was like, I recognize him. And eventually I went up to him like, dude, I recognize you from somewhere. And he was like, broccoli guy. And he like reaches into his bag. That's me. And I was like, shut up. And I was like, should I do a feature?
Florets of broccoli.
Would you like an autograph?
A signed broccoli floret. And so I wrote, bro, it was awesome. And so I wrote like a 1-page article on him, and it was really freaking awesome.
Wow.
So he was substituting one day, and I walked in after 6th period, and I was like, ready for your interview? And he was like, yeah. And it was really great. I've done stories on like alumni. I've done a couple like personal columns, and I've done ones on like sports, like on like feature athletes and teachers. And one of my favorite ones that I ever wrote is that those of you who know the Pop School District, we have a condemned building on campus right now because there is a sinkhole sewage leak combination in our library, well, formerly known as the library science
this is
building.
breaking news to me.
Yeah, so all of our science teachers lost their chemistry labs, lost their classrooms, lost all their equipment. And, yeah,
When did this happen?
End of my junior year.
Wait. You said last year?
At the end of my junior year.
What?
And so my senior
the fun's not there? I'm sorry. This stuns me.
So then we didn't have a chemistry lab all year.
Oh my goodness.
So I was in chemistry doing lots of notes and no labs. I'm like, I get to blow stuff up. My teacher's like, so we don't have a lab, so we're not doing like anything. And so we did like transferring pennies. I was like, this is ridiculous, guys. I did one on there and on that, and I got to interview like all like the science teachers, and that was fun. And like I remember like my intro, and it was like the cold dark hallways of the former library science building. My teacher's like, that got really dark about the building. I was like, I know, right? So that's kind of my goal. I just want to bring some light, some happiness back to it. It's not all political. That's so much of what journalism is right now.
Paul says, my former sister-in-law was a news anchor on KGMB in Honolulu. I think he's saying, I think she can hook you up. I can hook you up. She's still a bit active part-time, and her husband is a producer. They still live in Honolulu.
I will be there.
Yeah. There you go.
Matt says, I'm at a conference in Napa, California right now, and last night at dinner we were talking about broccoli guy.
Just don't put it on pizza.
Broccoli guy's influence to wine
I'm learning
country.
so much about.
Yeah.
love that. Matt, are you done it for? I would imagine is it a teaching conference or interested to know?
Oh yeah, and so by the way, you're also going to be playing basketball.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah. Well, that's very cool. And we've talked about it before on the show. You've worked really hard to get to this point. Your dad has shared with me so many of the struggles that you have had and how you've powered through them. And by powering through them, you now have a full ride.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost a full ride.
Yeah.
In Hawaii. Poor you.
Yeah, you famously have not wanted to go to Hawaii.
Hey, we're not talking about me right now.
Yeah, it's
I've told your
exciting.
dad
with
more
your
than a few
brother.
times. He's gonna have to suck it up and take your mom.
It's surreal. It's really weird because I tell people like when I sign like your like the like signing day thing, like it's like you're signing your national letter of intent. Which by the way, I did at lunch. I like went in and like signed my name with like my finger, and then like filled in the rest of it, and I hit OK, and I was like, okay, I think it's your turn. And he's like, okay, I signed it, and I was like, so am I official? And I'm like munching on like a PB&J, and he's like, I think so. I was like, huh, cool.
Because the one that you signed that's like in front of everybody, that's just for show.
That's like a big check from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. They send you the one that they need for their, that's electronic, whatever. So she got it, and she had to sign it that day before her like signing that night or whatever. So I was like, hey, it should be in your email, coach's messaging or whatever. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. But,
Yeah, which was fun. My best friend is sitting there with me, and she was like, "Is that it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like,
no confetti.
"That was
no
underwhelming." And I was like,
Well, welcome to adult life. There's a lot of underwhelming moments.
the fun part was like that night I got to like sign in with a couple other athletes, which being his kid, I get emotional. So they're like, say thank you to who you want. So I'm sitting there, everyone's like thanking their families, like I can feel it in my throat. So I'm like, going to Sean at University of Honolulu, I'm playing basketball, thinking of my family. Like, not now.
So many coaches let down in that moment.
Yeah.
We're standing there.
Yeah, I was trying to get out quick because I was like, if you prolong this, you'd be like, I can't.
Matt says he's at a teacher conference. Can you imagine how good it is with hundreds of teachers all burnt out since the end of June and wineries every 10 feet?
Not a good plan.
I could have gone as your chaperone.
Yeah.
Yep. So off to Hawaii. We got to take her there in August, and
Which is the hottest month.
yeah, but that'll be good. She's, what's cool is someone said this to her a year or two ago. One of the coaches, I can't remember who it was, but like so many kids show up at school, and like kudos to them. Like college, right? They commit somewhere just for not athletes, just for education. Like I'm going to wherever, and they just show up like by themselves, and they're given a roommate that they could be a klepto. Like who knows? You know what I'm saying? And like and they start over, which is crazy. Like I mean, like just really thinking about that. Like that's like. Leave your family, leave your friends, move in with a rando, and
That's
try to
where I've
meet
been
new people.
lucky. Like my roommate is the other incoming freshman for the team, and we've had each other's numbers. And like people are like, have you talked? And I'm like, we text. We have a shared Pinterest board about what we if that's not dating
I
myself.
say things are
right
getting
now.
a little serious.
But like, it's like fun. It's like we get to know each other a little bit. Like we have a theme going, like things that we want to like set up, and I got to meet like the whole team when I did my visit. It's like
That's what I was gonna say. Being an athlete is she's showing up with 15 friends, like built in.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah.
Which is really
That does help.
It's cool. So
Very cool. Very cool. What about you, kid?
Me?
Yeah.
I've yapped
What are you
long enough.
doing?
fighting crime, vigilante justice.
Going into a welding program.
Good for you, bro.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Where's it? Yeah. Can you elaborate?
Sorry.
Where's it at? Like,
It's at Olympic College. It's in Bremerton, and as we're actually going to contact him at some point.
Yep, the welding teacher.
Yep.
Why you want to go into welding?
Well, I just think it's probably a good
Tell
job.
your adoring audience why you want to go into welding.
Well, I just think it's a good opportunity, mostly because I kind of feel like the idea of it would just be a lot easier for me to understand, that I would just need to learn how to, like, fix things and just look at blueprints or whatever to fix pipes or whatever. It just feels like something I don't think would be too stressful. I feel like it would just be like fine enough where I'm just taking my time and just fixing this, and it would pay well.
Right.
So
right.
that's
Union benefits.
yeah.
Yep. Now you got a side hobby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, now there's where you light up.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, Ryan? Welding.
Yeah.
Tell us about your side hobby. Stand by. You got time?
So I really like doing like video editing and stuff like that. Sometimes I do like editing like some movies that I've gotten on my laptop. You don't need to know where I got those.
No, as long as my IP doesn't show up in a police report.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I make no promises.
So basically, I like editing movies that I feel like maybe sometimes have problems, or I just want to do something fun. Like the most recent thing, the trash film Rise of Skywalker?
So you got to ask Maddy, because I don't know how Maddy feels. I don't even know if she's a Star Wars fan or not.
Okay, don't snipe me. I've never seen any of the movies.
Oh, you're okay.
I've seen parts of episode 4. It was Christmas night. I don't know why, but you got the full set for Christmas. I don't know why. You just did. And you went to the airport. You're like, what? You went to the airport because you were working there still. And I remember the final scene where Hans, Leia, Chewie...
Your mom
Luke,
wanted those. That's why.
No. You got them. You. Long after. We have them at the house. I'm pretty sure Fred and Donnie sent them to you.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
Anyway.
and they're in like the garbage compressor. And I remember that last scene, and then I remember opening my eyes the next morning, peacefully in my bed. I'm like, I fell asleep and somehow wound back up in my bed. Happy birthday to me. That's my last memory of Star Wars. I have been on the rides at Disneyland. That is my knowledge.
Sam Buffington says hi. Morning, Sam. Gruder says, money. Come to Oklahoma, weld on oil rigs, work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and make $250,000 a year, retire at 35. That's what I'd do if I had to do it all over again.
Wow.
And then Paul says, I'll throw this out there. If anyone is thinking of going to the 4th of July fireworks show in Lake Union, I am not. but my boat is right across from Gasworks Park. You're welcome to sit on my boat, use the head. Just can't take it off the dock. Okay. But you don't need to. There's nothing blocking your view. Just PM me. Nice. Thanks, Paul. Can you weld it? He says. I apparently suck at it and need a floor pan welded into my dune buggy. Not yet.
No.
Not to mention
Not yet.
removing the floor pan. I attempted to weld it. Give him some time. He'll come help.
Yeah.
Well, we're very passionate. Well, we like Star Wars, but we're very passionate about the last 3 movies. And I know that there are people out there that want to have internet fights about it, because the number 7, it's okay.
Yeah,
Number
I think
8
it's okay.
is the worst, and number 9, it sucks.
Well, I actually thought number 9 was the worst because the overall plot made no sense.
It's true.
It was not a real story. It was just stupid stuff happening to try to get people's
Way to
attention.
wrap up the whole series with a clunker.
Oh, they really did.
Oh, yeah.
So this guy comes to me after I watched number 8 that he had fixed.
I
What he
fixed
does, he
that
goes
movie.
in there and he fixes the story. And I got to watch number 8, and I told him, I said, I still don't like the story, but you made the movie watchable. He's been so good at slicing everything
You
up.
just go back and fix.
Yeah. And
Yes,
so,
I just take
Can
the stuff I
fix
don't
Phase 4 of Marvel?
Well,
I'm a Marvel nerd.
if you could provide me all the DVDs and all the Blu-rays or whatever.
You got Disney Plus.
So this guy says, I'm going to fix The Rise of Skywalker with the last movie. As in, I don't think you can. I just don't think it's possible because
$10 says you're wrong.
I know. There's too much. They've woven too much into the story that if you try and cut it up, it's going to be a clunker. So what's this guy do over the last? How long did it take you to
Hold my beer.
Yeah, basically that's what he said.
I think maybe it was like I could have probably done it in like 3 days or 4, but I'm not sure. It
You had to
probably
go
like
chop some
lasted,
wood?
lasted probably a week, to be honest, or maybe less than a week. I don't know.
So you take this movie.
Yeah.
He shows it to me 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
He tells me three days ago. He says, "Hey, I got it done." I'm like, "Well, we'll see." And so we watch it 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Dude has made a movie that I enjoy. Like, he took all of the stupid parts that we all agree with out of the movie.
It's
and
now 12 minutes long.
How long is the
Hour 49.
So what you made was hour 49.
Yeah, hour 40.
How long is the original movie?
2 hours and like 17 minutes.
Oh, so you chopped out like 40 minutes.
Which Christy has never seen number 9.
Yeah.
She sat down about halfway through because she was kind of paying attention, but then she sat down halfway through and she said, I'd had no idea that you cut anything out.
Ryan with the abridged version.
Oh, gosh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Good for you.
Oh, I actually have done some Marvel stuff. You know, like the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies?
Yes.
I basically took the MCU part of it out and just like removed it from like all the movies. So it's just Spider-Man being the Spider Dude.
Without being woven in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No Iron Man, no just Nick Fury or whatever.
That's
it's
crazy.
just Spider-Man, and it makes the movie so much better to watch.
Dude, I would sit down and watch that
You're doing
because
the movie editing.
Spider-Man's become such a huge part of the MCU now,
Yeah.
especially with the 2 Spider-Verse movies
Spider-
that they came out with.
I'm still waiting for the next one.
Me too. I watched them both on a flight from New York home. I watched them there on there. I'm on the edge of my seat the entire time. I'm like, why is this more entertaining than the rest of Phase 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my COVID. I watched all of the Marvel movies.
So one of the movies that this guy chopped into, which Christy wasn't thrilled with, was Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Oh, yes.
Because if you've seen Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, there's a love story that is woven in throughout the movie with Anakin and Padme, who are Luke and Leia's parents. Sorry, spoiler. He takes
I
the
know that
love
much.
story out of the movie completely.
And it's just the action with
And
Obi-Wan.
it's such a good dude movie.
Or a good Christy movie.
So then I told him, I said, now you got to make a cut where it's just the love story.
Did Christy
Oh,
like
man.
it with or without the love story?
She loves it with the love story.
With the love story. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
So I think I had plans to maybe like make a better love story, and then I was thinking, what if I just make a version where it's just the cringe parts? And-
You're your mom to keep you out.
Joey Long is on. Good morning, Joey.
Joey.
Yeah.
Okay, so Paul says,
Joey graduated like 6 months ago.
yeah, it's true.
Bro.
I love the
Nebraska.
alternate music choices on Star Wars. Those videos suck me in. I would love someone to edit the movies Das Boot and Tom Hanks' Greyhound together. Well, that'd be kind of cool. And someone edit out Jar Jar, and apparently the movie is fine without him. Yes.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I would edit Jar Jar out if I could.
You know what? It's true. You wouldn't miss anything.
Or I would just make him a background character. Like, he's not even important. He's just like, hey, we got an army down in the swamp. Oh,
There's a
that's
lot of-
convenient.
There's a lot of books and movies that are like that. I mean,
Yeah.
like I just started, you were talking about Stephen King, and as Paul said, The Stand was his favorite book or whatever. So I just finished The Long Walk, and so I was like, all right, Paul said The Stand, so I pull it up, and I'm like, oh, there's 2 versions. There's the abridged and the unabridged.
Oh.
So his first release of it was a very chopped down, and then his second release 10 years later, he put in everything. He put it all back. All the original stuff he had taken out.
Wasn't
And
there
that's
like
much
an
longer.
8-hour cut of like Lord of the Rings or something like that?
I think
They were
that
4.
the movies.
4-hour?
So Lord of the Rings, there's a 4-hour cut. For every single movie, there's a 4-hour cut. So
Ooh,
that's-
12 hours.
Yeah, that's our family tradition on
12
New Year's
hours.
Day. Is we put on the first DVD
Oh.
and we run the entire thing all day long. So
Oh, wow.
we just have the TV going, and if you got things to do, go do things. You can come sit down, you can watch for however long you want. But yeah.
That's cool.
Speaking of that, I actually did something with The Hobbit to try to fix it.
Oh, you did. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Hobbit.
I've not watched the movie because I love books so much, and I had heard bad things, so I was like, no, let's just leave it.
The book is good, and I remember when I heard that they were going to make 2, and I thought that's perfect. 2 is a good amount of movies for The Hobbit. But when I heard they're going to stretch it out to 3. I went,
The book's only like this big.
Right,
It's not
right.
even that long.
Right.
I think I heard that the reason that they made it like so drawn out and wanted to get as much cash as they
Couple
could
of pages.
is that some of the companies that they bought like the book rights of like The Hobbit, MGM or whatever, they were in bankruptcy and they wanted money as fast as humanly possible. So that's probably why it was so rushed and ended up being not as good as it could have been.
Okay. So now with all this talent that you have with chopping up movies, and I'm sure in some sense it's illegal, but I'm sure you're down here as far as going after people. I mean, there's Martha Stewart.
It's like you're making money off it. So,
Have you thought about taking classes in school for this?
I mean, I probably could.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting.
You could go to, you could definitely go to like video editing. I mean, they have, I think nowadays there's just programs for that kind of stuff versus having to go to school for 4 years.
Wow,
Like, there's
really?
like School of the Arts, right? I believe has that kind of stuff. So it might be something to look into.
Yeah.
That's welding, dude.
Well, like I told him, I said going into a trade is a good thing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you could take a look at doing the film editing, and just you can have both of those as a background.
I was thinking that maybe welding would just be like the default in case like other things don't work out.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, that's my default. I'll just do this until I can find something else I'm interested in.
Okay.
Smart move, dude. Backup plans.
Paul says, next read Stephen King's 11/23/63. I miss those characters. Oh, yeah, that's the one about the Kennedy assassination.
Dude, I just finished, Paul. I just finished yesterday, The Long Walk. Man, what a book.
Yeah.
What a book.
Paul says, I spent years learning analog editing. You know what analog editing is?
I don't even know what that is.
Basically taking the tape, cutting it, splicing it together, and then boom, digital, and it's so much easier.
Wow.
We had
cool.
Dr. John's. We talked about that.
That's right. Yeah.
We were in there with
Dr.
the
John's.
dial, like spinning it forward and backward, like the
editing. Oh gosh, yeah.
Dr. Bringus Jones.
No, not Dr. Bringus Johns.
Yeah.
You stop plugging your brother's business.
What's he paying you, dude?
$1 million.
Yeah.
All right. So Ryan had said, I can't remember if it was Ryan that said it or your mom said it, but somehow, some way, you had to get your impressions into the show.
Impressions.
Your impressions.
All right.
All right. You want us to guess who they are, or are you going to tell us who they are?
How about you guys come up with like what impression you think?
Oh yeah,
you
that's
want
gonna
me
do
to
it.
do?
I'll get you warmed up. Go ahead and give us some Al Capone.
Wait, what if you don't know?
Oh boy. You know, the story behind this is that we do these play things, or used to back when I was at Catholic Schoolhouse. Skits, yes. And the last one, I was playing Al Capone as the sponsor of all these advertisements.
Nice.
And I was basically
Advertise for your brother as
I was bribing the interviewer, which was his name's Thomas Weaverish, by the way. And basically, then I felt like he was disrespecting me. And then at some point, I was just like, okay, this guy's asking too many questions.
By the way, Thomas Weaverish was on the varsity lacrosse team at Puyallup High School.
When?
This year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he graduated with Ryan. He's a homeschooler as well.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like,
He was the goalie. I don't know what you call him in lacrosse, but he was a goalie.
Yeah.
we'll call it goalie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Magruder says, I want to see his Rory Pitts impression.
Oh yeah, do my impression. We'll see if you can walk home or not.
I don't know if I
Do
can.
my impression.
I want to be Al Capone instead.
Rory's got a great sense
Hey,
of
what are
humor.
you doing, huh?
All right, I want you to do an advertisement for Bringus Studios, like she said, as Al Capone.
All right, listen here, all your Bringuses, all right? If you want to get $5 off your Bringus bucks, you just go to the Bringus man himself at Northeast, I don't know, Lane.
He was like, crap, I shouldn't give that address.
So he does another impression, and I think it's very appropriate for tonight. Who's your man? Come on, tell him who your man is.
All right, fine.
You doing Trump or Biden?
Oh, that's tonight.
You got to figure it out.
I don't pay attention.
He falls over. It's Biden.
Come on, man. Come on.
You think that I wanted to go up there?
Trump.
They were threatening me. They were threatening me to shoot me with another one of those vaccines, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I would rather go on stage and yap like an idiot for 1 hour than get any of those disgusting shots. All right?
Well done, dude. Well done. Well done.
All right, now you've got requests. Capone and Trump discussing how to handle Vladimir Putin.
Okay, Al Capone, he's one of my greatest friends, greatest of all time. Do you know how we could take care of him?
Well, I would say, you know what? Why not just make a deal of peace with him, huh?
You know what? That just might work.
Bro.
Well
We've
done.
got welding, video editing, and voice actors.
Yeah, we thought about that too.
You're on track to like be rich and live on your own little island.
Every once in a
Yeah,
while,
maybe.
we'll have Mickey Mouse battles in the house.
Oh no! Don't bring me in this! Knock it off! Get out of here, you Chinese knockoff!
I feel like Maddie and I could sneak out right now, and you guys wouldn't even know for a good half hour or so.
That's Luke and Ray. Where's Luke?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, is there anything else that we should be bringing up, talking about? Any jokes?
Did you have homeschool prom?
No.
No.
But what did you do instead?
Oh,
That's such a big thing in public
yeah.
school.
we had the. Okay, so
Talk to Maddie.
I think we had. I don't remember the location.
Okay.
Sit down.
Hold on,
Buckley,
Ryan.
Buckley,
Ryan,
you
hold
want-
off.
Wait,
Little, get off my leg.
I'm
my
sliding
God.
it off! Get off!
All right. Sorry. back to Maddie's question.
So what? I think it was in Enumclaw, if I remember.
Yep.
And we did this homeschool dance thing with the different homeschoolers. You have to like get it in advance, otherwise you're not getting in there.
There's like hundreds of
So
people.
we did a Hawaiian dance. That was the last one. Although I don't think we learned any Hawaiian dances. So nice job there with the theming. But the last one, everybody was able to go. My sister Bella, obviously with Anthony. They're
Yeah,
all
her
lovey-dovey and all that.
Idiots.
Don't get Ryan started on that topic.
And I was able to go with a girl that was in my class at Catholic Schoolhouse, Annika Shaney. And we went together as friends, and it was really fun to be able
Nice.
to like dance around. But I was getting old man vibes. I'm like, I don't know if I want to dance again near the end.
We all have old man vibes.
I got old man vibes at the end of my prom. So I went with my two best friends and my boyfriend. We did pictures before. It was fun. We all went to the Ram together. We ate. We got appetizers before. We were like, it's prom. Why not? So we had like onion rings, mozzarella sticks. It was a ton of fun.
Living large.
Oh, yeah. And then we drove to prom. We got there like 15, 20 minutes early, so we didn't know what parking was going to
Now,
be
where's
like.
prom at?
It was at Foss Waterway and Seaport in Tacoma.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was fun. So I went to a Blake Shelton concert in March, and we drove by, and I was like, that's where prom's at. And then when we got there, I was like, oh no, this is really nice. Just don't drive by at this angle during this time. It doesn't look like a really sketchy like bar. Okay, we're good. And it was really beautiful inside. And we got in, and we're like, it's that awkward, like waiting for like others to get out there, so you're not the only one in there. And I'm the type of person I was like, I'm like in there for the entire time. And it was a ton of fun. Like you come out with like all hair and makeup was like gone to crap. Like,
oh yeah.
And so my we're like walking back to the car. We're all gross. Like my best friend lost an earring because we were like in there. And it was a ton of fun. And I go home. My boyfriend leaves. My best friends leave. We get home at like midnight. I need just PJs, wash my face. I was lights out. And then by like 12:30. And my dad texts me the next morning. And he's like, so what did you do
Texted
after?
that night, you were at your mom's.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? What are you guys doing afterwards? You're like, I'm at home eating ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, I had a bowl of ice cream before I went to bed. And he's like, go to like an after party? And I was like, no. He's
Bro.
like, did you go like out to dinner with like your friends or anywhere like that? No.
She's locked on.
He was like, was there any after party? Yeah. You didn't want no. What are you doing? I mean, actually, I'm going to bed. He was like, really? And I was like, did you want me going somewhere after? Like, he was like, I don't know. I don't think so. And then I woke up the next morning at like 10. And I was like, all right. I went about my day. And I was like, that was my, cause like, there were videos of all the after party. And I think I showed you at one point. And I was like, this is why I didn't go.
You know, it's funny you bring this up because we got together with our family last week.
Yeah.
For Kaylee and John's birthdays because they have a birthday one day after the other. And we were actually talking about this, about how when they were in high school, they didn't go to any after parties or parties Friday nights or anything like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, to me, it was a strange concept because out in North Mason, there's a party every Friday night somewhere.
Yeah, which is weird because op schools are so
and Saturdays through Thursdays.
there was a huge one at somebody's house, and I know that because it was like that clique of guys at my school, and they were there for like all of like 45 minutes, and then left to go set up.
Oh,
for the after party. Like, you spent $35 on a prom ticket to be there for 45 minutes to then go set up? Like, that was wild to me.
Party don't start till the after party.
Yeah. I think the most I've ever done after a school dance, I think I've gone to every single one. I didn't go to like the winter balls just because they were so small and I was in the middle of basketball season. I'm like, I ain't coming home after practice, scrambling to get ready.
Right.
And then going back out. Like, I'm tired and beat up anyways. Like, I don't want to, I could be sleeping. I think the most I did after my junior year homecoming, I went and got Slurpees.
Ooh.
And then I went home and went to bed.
Bro.
Living life dangerous.
No
Right?
kidding.
Yeah.
Paul says, I came home at 6 a.m. after graduation. My mom was waiting in the front yard.
Yeah.
I actually spent the night at Mandy Little's house.
Oh, really?
With a couple other guys.
Yeah.
I can't remember how that ended up, but
I
think it was me and Zach and Mandy and a couple other people, and just crashed there. Woke up the next morning, and went, now what?
We had a great after party at Katie Rothenberg's house. Now, when I say that we had an after, it was innocent. Like there was like 30 of us over there. They had the hot tub going. We were just goofing off, and the Rothenbergs had bought us a ton of food. We were eating food, movies on, just laughing, having a good time. But yeah, Paul, that reminds me of that old Jeff Foxworthy bit when he talks about coming home late, and he's just like turning the car off 2 miles out, coast that last little bit in. He's like pull into the coast in the driveway, chloroform the dog, WD-40 the door, the key, slide it open, and there was the queen of the cold cream lagoon. I want to know where you've been or who you've been doing it with. Well, hold on a second, honey. I want to know who he's been doing it with. Oh, Frank, you are just.
Drew says, suffice to say that my prom nights did not end up in the same responsible manner. Good work.
Oh, we know, Magruder.
Thank goodness there were not cell phones back then.
Did you hear Magruder and Meelan did on Saturday?
Which is weird because, like, I hear all the legends of Luke Weaver, which, by the way,
Oh,
at my graduation,
Here we go.
Our call leader, she's introducing herself because our original call leader, Coach Schumacher, ended up like with a stomach bug and she couldn't show up. We're like, oh, that's bummer, but okay. And one of our
Who was it?
Coach Schumacher was our original
Allie.
call leader. They like the line, they're like stand up and then walk behind us and then like meet us and they like come back around. They basically just at the line in like their master's gown, making sure none of us were like screwing off to basically it's the line chaperone.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, you're like, what's your name? And she introduced us first name. I cannot remember.
Christina,
yeah. And my best friend took it on my Lexus, and I was like, oh, I'm Maddie. And she goes like this. And she was like, you look familiar. And I was like, I go to PHS. And she was like, are you Luke Weaver's kid? And I went, yeah. And she goes, I went to high school with your dad. And I love you. But my immediate
sorry.
thing that came flying out of my mouth was, I'm not like him. And she was like, oh. She was like, I was closer to Rory's class than I was. Yeah, she goes,
Christina Thayer.
Oh, Christina Thayer, yeah.
And she was like, I've heard the legends of your dad, but like, and she was like, don't worry, I don't associate people with their family. I like go off like my own like impression. I was like, okay, and then I was like, wait, it's like I love my dad, but I've heard the legends, and she was like, it's okay, sweetie. I was like, thanks.
Good morning, Shannon.
Yeah,
Good
Christina
morning,
and I
Austin.
graduated together.
Yeah, and so she's like, her little sister is closer.
What's that?
Her little sister.
Heather.
Yeah, Heather. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Jason was a year behind me.
Yep.
Magruder says, I don't know about
Small
legends,
world.
more like a series. No. He goes, no, a life of narrow misses and mastering the art of falling up, where opportunity and preparation and blind dumb luck meet fun. You will find me there.
Hashtag jealous.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah.
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 All right, you guys. Well, anything else we got to talk about before we wrap up the show?
I was gonna say, I was like, no.
Anything you want to share? Lovely shirt you got there.
Yeah.
How did that shirt come about?
Okay, Kaylee got me. Okay, my sister Kaylee got me this shirt. I think it was like for my birthday. It was just the story behind this is that I think online, like somebody made a poorly drawn Sonic, like in this like terrible game.
That's a good
And
one.
I think what happened was it was just this bad meme picture that went around. And then for some reason, in one of the official games, they actually allowed you, they have like this like custom character creator thing. You could actually wear this t-shirt on your character. And I'm just like, why? This is not even supposed to be official.
That's wonderful. That's
Says, the party was at my house. No alcohol. Friends kept coming and going to other parties, always returning to mine for the hot tub and tacos. Finally left to take my girlfriend home. After a few hours parked on Woodard Bay, she got home. We just talked about the future, none of which happened, but a great memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was, I will say.
That's what all teenage boyfriends and girlfriends do, is talk about their future. That never happens.
That's right. That's right.
Unless you're
Magruder
Luke
says,
Weaver,
thanks for
Rachel
restoring my faith in the future today. A couple really good eggs y'all got there, dudes. Have the best rest of your week.
Hey,
Thanks,
you
Appreciate it, man.
You too.
Love you, buddy.
I will
Yeah.
say that's what we did after prom. While we waited, so we all carpooled together. So we took pictures and we all drove. We took Bruce, my car, which I'm sure
Bruce.
I'm sure my dad's explained.
Bruce.
Freaking Bruce.
Freaking Bruce. Bruce still.
He gets me to point A to point B with a couple of questionable sounds, but it's okay.
Same.
We're sitting there afterwards, and like my best friend, one of her things is she loves claw clips, and so for hers, her dress was yellow, and she had a yellow butterfly claw clip, and she had that out. She was missing an earring. I had
Dragging a leg behind.
my other best friend. Her what is it called? It's not the purse. Fanny pack. She brought a fanny pack that held she had this big beautiful black dress, her fanny pack, and it like held all of her stuff. We're sitting in our car waiting for, because my mom's house is in Tacoma, and that's where my boyfriend had his car parked. So we were just gonna take off from there, and we're waiting because my best friend and my other best friend live in South Hill and in Edgewood, and I would have been like there, then
Oh, my
back, and it would have
goodness,
been
yeah.
everywhere. And so Alexis's dad was coming to pick her up, and so we're all sitting in my car, all like exhausted. We're sitting there, like
Nothing like sitting in a car with your best friend and her boyfriend.
Exhausted, breathing heavy,
No.
fogging up the windows.
Yeah, glad you
kids.
brought him. This is great.
like none of us, like I wear tennis shoes, or as I've said, like I didn't wear heels to any of my dances, but we had all taken like our tennis shoes off. My best friend also wore Converse. We're just sitting there and we're kind of listening to music, and it was quiet, like nobody was on their phone. And I think at one point our friend Alice goes, "Well, we did it, guys." And I kind of turned around and I was like, "Yeah, we did." And she goes, "I'm gonna go home now. I'm tired." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm wiped." And we sat there for another 10 minutes, like listening to music. And then my best friend came and picked her up. And I like fell asleep on the car ride home. Got home and was like, "Hey, you gotta go inside." And I was like, "Sayonara." Walked into the door, went inside. And I was like, "Just let me know you made it." He's like, "You'll be asleep." And I was like, "Yes, I will."
Yep.
It was great. And I was like, "Yeah, there's my..." Sat in the car.
Paul says, great kids, no idiocracy.
Pretty
Agreed.
good, Ryan.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Y'all did all right.
All right, so we'll have you guys on again in 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
reunion.
Wow.
Or
10-year reunion.
Post college graduation, I guess.
Yeah.
Ryan, let's hope you have all your hair then still.
I'm gonna make a wig.
Well, the problem is you got me going against you, and you got your grandfather going against you.
I've heard.
But John, what about
I know John, but John's weird in the sense that he still has all of his hair.
I've heard the hair genetics come from your mother's side.
Yeah,
Which, if that's the case, I'm screwed, and I'll be gray by the time I'm 25. But that would
it is
be
strange
me.
though because
Sorry, Mom.
Christy's dad was bald young, but John's not bald. But the funny thing is, John says I grow my hair long because I'm gonna go bald someday. He's like, I'm just gonna enjoy having my hair.
And he'll hear this at some point. Probably Mike Crab. He had a full head of hair. I mean, like
Bro,
full head of
dude.
hair, and then all of a sudden in his early 30s, it just checked out one year.
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere. Like what happened? Bro? Like you're going strong for a while.
And Paul says I got my hairy back from my mom. Well,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Congratulations.
Actually, when I was younger, because the whole like it comes from your mom's side. Like I looked at my grandfather on my dad's side, and he had full head of hair when he had passed away in the 70s. So I was like, okay, but it comes from your mom's side. But my mom's dad had passed away when she was 9. He was like 35. So I was like, Mom, your grandpa have a full head of hair. She's like, no, he was totally bald. And I was like, fuck.
And then she laughed and was like, no, full head of hair when he passed away. I'm like, all right, I'm good till 35.
At least.
You're living on borrowed time right now.
yeah, I know. Yeah, who knows? So, all right.
All
Thanks
right,
for coming on,
kids.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
Get
it.
having you guys on the show.
TV.
Signing off.
Yeah.
Till further notice.
So, one last thing. No show next week. We'll be celebrating.
Praise the Lord.
Celebrating against those evil British people.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Which I've never understood, by the way.
So uninvolved. with
What
politics.
is like,
What's
because we celebrated our Independence, 4th of July, Independence Day.
Holy smokes!
Maddie and got out of school. And just
All right, I'm going
checked
to take back
out.
that comment of
Yeah.
idiocracy.
Yeah.
Yes, the Independence Day, 4th of July is next Thursday.
What's happening next week? The
Which
British.
is funny because we have more shows in our country about the British, like the British royalty.
The
Yeah.
crown.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
who cares?
Well, I think the British are trying to reinvade us again.
It shouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
There's-
How many soldiers
it's funny.
we got right now?
I've
Goodness.
never seen The Crown, but there is a clip that goes around about King Charles and Princess Diana, the arguing back and forth about Camilla, and it lives in my head, the line where he's like, because I care about her morning, noon, and night. I care about her. That is
Wow.
all I know of The Crown.
James Condell checked in. Good morning, Jimmy. Paul
That's
says
all
no
I-
show. Sweet relief. Yeah. Cloudy, keep your fingers, everyone. I'm working that day. Yeah. No
Oh,
kidding.
yeah.
If we got to worry about anybody in their fingers, it'd be
I
your
wonder if that's
family
just
cloud.
me in the cloud.
A massive explosion.
Yes, it's you in the cloud. Ryan in cloud.
Yeah.
Ryan in the cloud. Yes, that's you.
Cloud is the
Something.
assistant fire chief for North Mason, I think.
Well, he'll tell you here in a second.
Yeah,
I feel like
he'll
all
let
the
you know.
Bulldogs
Yeah.
either stayed there or wound up in Puyallup.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
There's like a bulldog connection with Puyallup, and
And then Rory went back.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hiding in the woods out in my little bunker.
Except you go out more often.
It's true. I'm in Puyallup more than when I lived here.
I know.
As much as you two claim, like, I could survive in a bunker at any social function, you two talk more than anybody else.
Hey, you know what? Your daughter can
Yeah,
leave now.
I know, yeah. Well, look it. When pressed
Wow.
into action, I shine. All right, but
That's,
That's
we're
the-
staying for a half an hour and then 2
sure-
hours
yeah,
and
he's
he's talking to the
they
same
fire
person.
captain, attaboy.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to show you this real quick. And then
Paul
we'll sign
says
off.
it's like some kind of torture to have to watch the show. I agree, and
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
It is torture.
I sent this to Mike, and I was like, "This is me exactly." And I'm gonna be careful with the language, but it says it was a meme I saw. I'm nice, but I'm an a-hole. But my heart is as big AF. But I really don't give AF. But I care sometimes. But F everyone else, if that makes sense. I'm like,
That's poetry.
yeah, that was my
I
spirit
just shed a
animal.
tear.
Yeah, I know.
Modern poetry.
Yeah. All those things, dude.
It's like they know me.
Yeah. I was like looking around, like, oh.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate
Yes,
you.
congratulations.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
congrats.
thank you.
Try not to
We did
screw
it.
this up. All right. Lord knows everyone else is. So,
Yeah, we're doing good.
Hey, guys. Bro, make your popcorn and have some fun tonight.
Yes.
I kind of don't want to watch because I have a hard time, to be honest, watching like very cringeworthy, awkward stuff. I'm like, I can't do it. But on the other hand, like, I can't stop. Like,
The entertainment value tonight is through the roof.
Yeah,
We're literally gonna stop at the grocery store on the way home.
Presidential
Cheese
Is this our
pretzels.
movie night tonight?
Yeah,
Is
this
this
We
what
are
we're
getting
watching?
cheese
Yeah.
pretzels.
Ryan has said he wants cheese pretzels because tonight is gonna be phenomenal.
Yes.
And you know what's
I
even
can
gonna be
agree with
better is that
Yeah.
there's no audience,
There's no audience.
so it's gonna be super awkward. You know, it's gonna be like watching an old '90s sitcom with no laugh track. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. I'm
Hey, maybe some people can just like try to download it from like YouTube illegally, and then they just put all the laugh tracks.
And then you can make a movie out of it.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you ever get a chance to look this up, presidential debates 2016 air horn.
Okay.
Or lip dubs.
Oh,
Or
my,
Jeb is a
oh
mess.
my, or Jeb is a mess. Oh my gosh, if you want to laugh, it's hilarious. Anyways, all right. So yes, hot mess tomorrow or hot mess tonight.
Yeah.
No show next week.
Hot mess every day.
And
You know what I'm most like interested in is, and like guys, just take this for what it is. Okay, it's no like statement on political leanings, whatever. I have not seen the President Biden, do an hour of unadulterated, unchecked, with his handlers around him in like a couple years. Like,
yeah, and this is 90 minutes.
Like he's got to be an hour and a half. He's got to be on point. The last time he was on camera, he fell asleep at the D-Day thing and then had to be escorted off stage. So I'm just like,
he is going to be jacked up.
Like they're going to have him on some serious
hardcore caffeine, cocaine, something.
Here, drink this Jolt, Mr. President.
Maybe you can have the energy drink I had.
Oh gosh, yeah. Ryan had energy last week. He was up all night.
Oh man,
poor kid.
Yeah, that's what
I was literally like shaking at some point. I was just like,
You ever get it where like sometimes the energy drink works, and then other times, sometimes like I'll have one in the morning, and I'm sitting there in class like nodding off. My heart's like it works something, but I'm not awake yet.
Yeah.
What time is the debate tonight?
It is 6 p.m. our time. So
is it a debate or is it just like a roast? You know what I mean?
yeah. I feel like one side's going to be doing most of the roasting, and then Biden's just going to be like,
back and forth watching those boys roast each other.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, just it's gonna be like watching like what's that show? Lion that you watch with grandma.
Oh! Secondhand Lions.
Secondhand Lions. Just two old guys on a porch making fun of each other for an hour and a half. Like,
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Oh, man.
One final thing. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. After Sunday, we will have another graduate in our house. My wife graduates with her bachelor's degree in graphic design when she turns in her final assignment on Sunday night.
Well done, Christine. Well done.
We will have
Well
two
done.
bachelor's degrees in the house. One of us will be more productive than the other.
Cloudy says, Maddie,
Christy.
Hawaii is addicting. You will not want to leave. Explore the other islands. Ryan, have fun with welding. Look at the Ryan meetup group on Insta. Apparently, there's a Ryan group on Insta. Crab is
That's
finally
awesome.
watching.
My
Bible
people.
says, congrats. Yeah.
although if you spell Ryan with an I have no choice but,
Look, Mom watched the whole show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And you know what? She's going to be more successful than me with her degree. Absolutely going to be more successful.
Right, actually use it? Is that-
Yeah, mine is basically a doorstop.
She has to design like one thing to be more successful.
She redesigned our business.
Yeah, already more successful.
Single-handedly.
Right.
And she wasn't even paid for it.
No, she's just like, okay.
Already more successful.
Yeah.
All right, we've said goodbye like 8 times.
I know.
Seriously.
That's true.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right, you guys take care.
Adios.
Bye.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good,
It
though.
could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!